Last night, the much-anticipated Major League debut of Anthony Rizzo. Energy and power and love, and a 7-3 Padres win. After a slow start, 23-year-old Matt Latos seeks his fourth win in a row tonight. Don't get too comfortable. We're right back at you with Padres baseball. Final strains of the national anthem, Petco Park in San Diego. And it's game 2 of the 4-game series, the Washington Nationals and the San Diego Padres. And welcome to Friday night, the party at the park. And who is this gal Margarita that everyone came out to see tonight? All kinds of folks out there.
She's a friend of everybody's, and it's always happy times when she's in town. So Margaritaville for everybody.
And it was a happy time last night as all that everyone hoped Anthony Rizzo would be materialized, as the young kid did just a little bit of everything.
I think we all witnessed something very special. The anticipation of Anthony Rizzo getting to the big leagues. And look at that. Already in with the community, signing autographs, and then doing a lot of his talking with his bat. I was very impressed with that bats last night, Dick.
You know, he only had one triple in his entire minor league career, and he triples in his first major league game. And hugs to family and friends, and I think the entire city of San Diego, the Padre family, embracing the 21-year-old Rizzo. And we thought it'd be fun to look at his numbers. He's only been here 24 hours, a little more than that. His number on his back is 27. We asked him these questions. How many family and friends are in town? 24. He did 47 interviews so far, 527 texts, 103 autographs or more, 637 Twitter. And one prank.
And I think the prank column, that number will grow for this rookie. But there's one thing for sure. Anthony Rizzo treated himself having a great day in the big leagues, and he handled it like a pro. You saw those numbers there. Some of those guys don't even have those numbers throughout their big league career. But this got the anticipation that paid off. A storybook night for Anthony Rizzo last night, and we were glad to be a part of it.
I mean, he's been pulled by fans, by the media, the press, and he's done it all, answered all the questions with a smile. So Anthony Rizzo, and he, with his 1 for 2 last night, Bud Black's convinced. He moved him from the 7th spot of the batting order up to number 5. We'll see how he does in that heavy hitting area.
I was just really impressed. Walks last, being patient at the plate and passing the baton to the next guy. That tells you something about the type of hitter that he really is.
And his swings and misses on 2-3-1 pitches. Padres don't have players that swing like that, and no wonder he hits with such incredible power.
He's going to strike some fear into pitchers out there. It'll be interesting to see what happens tonight.
All right, let's look at the starting pitching matchup for this game, too. Veteran Jason Marquis, he's their winningest pitcher for the Nationals, 6-2 on the year, and has had a good record against San Diego throughout his career with several teams. And Matt Latos, after that 0-5 start, putting his game together, and he's won 4 of the last 5. Should be a good one tonight. We're pleased you've joined us on a Friday evening at Petco Park, the Washington Nationals and the San Diego Padres. Gas Lamp District on a Friday will be boiling before this night is through, and many of the fans leaving after an early dinner to come into Petco Park and enjoy a ball game. And we're set to go as Matt Latos is completing his warm-up tosses. Latos looking for his 5th win, and his last 5 starts 4-1 and a 2.93 ERA. And his profile brought to you by your San Diego County Cadillac dealer. Stop in. Look at those attractive lease and purchase offers. Numbers for Latos, who through the middle of last year was the best pitcher in baseball and trying to get back to that form, and seems to be edging his way in that direction.
I think one key thing for Matt Latos is keeping the ball in the ball yard and also utilizing that 95, 97 mile an hour fastball. Hey, he's a big kid. Throw it through the catcher, challenge these hitters. I think sometimes any pitcher, they give hitters too much credit. And when Matt Latos knows that, hey, you know what? I'm going to get this guy out. It's all between the ears. I think he'll have some success. And he has shown that the last few starts.
Mark, an interesting thing before the game tonight, out in the Padre bullpen, that's Darryl Ackerfels, the bullpen coach, talking in a huddle to his pitching staff, his bullpen crew. And of course, you can see young Evan Scribner. He's joined that group with the entry to Luke Gregerson. What do you think that's all about?
Well, it's a very tight fraternity. I can't tell you exactly what Darryl Ackerfels is talking about there, but that looks like a little pep talk. I mean, some bodies have changed out there. The personnel has kind of changed out there, right? Luke Gregerson, as you mentioned, on the DL. Everybody steps up. Qualls did a fine job last night. And I think they really take pride and they root for one another. That could be one of the things that they talked about. Hey, you know what? Even though we're minus a guy, we have the talent to really take hold and keep this bullpen going the way we've been going.
Well, Matt Latos hopes that the bullpen won't be a necessary item tonight, as he sends the first pitch of the game in. A strike to Roger Bernardino. Bernardino, then Ian Desmond and Jason Worth for the Nationals in the first inning. Bernardino checks in at 254 with a half dozen home runs. 1 home run, rather, and 8 RBIs. Another curveball, and it's 1-1. The home runs, though, are distributed in some strength in the middle of this Washington lineup, with 36 home runs from the 3, 4, 5, and 6 positions. 1 and 2. And when Latos is on his game, not only is that fastball up 94, 95, but he can really get late action. And he bounces that one up right under the feet of the jump roping Bernardino. A slider.
Yeah, you make a good point about that four-seam fastball for Matt Latos. Not only the velocity, but sometimes that ball has a tendency to run a little bit. So in this case, 95 plus into Bernardino, it's going to have a little run in on the fists and try squaring up with that pitch.
2-2. Ground ball softly. Better hurry because Bernardino can run. Bartlett just does get him on a bang-bang play. That took all of the arm of Jason Bartlett to record the first out. Let's check the Washington lineup, brought to you by the Prize Patrol, presented by Jerome's Furniture. Text winning to 269-411 to enter. Desmond, then Worth. Lance Nix cleanup. Michael Morse, boy, is he having a great season. Danny Espinosa, the rookie from Cal State Long Beach, is leading rookies in the National League in RBIs. Wilson Ramos homered last night as a pinch hitter. He's in the lineup tonight, hitting 7th. Alex Cora 8th, and then Jason Marquis, the pitcher, who is a 200 lifetime hitter.
And Rob Johnson just got a foul tip right off the mask. Looks like down by the chin area, and you know, you jar that jaw. I mean, that's like a boxer, you know, getting a right, just right to the jaw. And that's how guys get knocked out.
Is it just my imagination, or are we seeing more of that this year?
It seems like it, doesn't it?
A lot, especially with the Padre catchers. Kyle Phillips, I mean, he seems to get hit somewhere every at bat.
Rob's rattled. He looks like he's kind of rattled a little bit.
1 strike to Desmond, and he punches one to the right side. Easy chance for Logan Forsythe. 2 away. Here is the Padres defense of Bud Black, brought to you by Big O Tires, the team you trust. Call 1-800-NEW-TIRE. Cantu at third tonight. Chase Headley given the start off. Got banged up a little bit in that play down the left field line when he collided with the shortstop Bartlett, Forsythe at second, Rizzo at first, Ludwig, DeNorfia, Hop in the outfield, and Johnson behind the plate.
Yeah, Buddy said Chase is available if needed later in the ball game. It's just one of those nights where you give Cantu some at-bats and give Chase a little blow.
Jason Worth takes a strike, hitting .244, 8 home runs, leads the team in runs, hits, doubles, and walks. That one misses the corner, 1-1. Nationals in the midst of a 3-stop road trip. They're 3-5, split 4 games in Arizona. Only picked up 1 win out of 3 in San Francisco. And outside again. So Leto starting the game using more breaking pitches than his fastball.
A big key for Matt is the slider early in the count for a strike. One of the first 2 pitches.
High fly ball center field. DeNorfia has to retreat. Still going back. Boy, that ball carried almost to the warning path. Worth just under it enough that it stayed in the ball yard. Latos retires the Nats in order. Here come the Padres, bottom of the first. Tonight, Jason Marquis. We didn't see him in the series in Washington. He's a 32-year-old from Tottenville, New York. Here are his numbers on the profile, brought to you by Bank of America, setting opportunity in motion in San Diego to help our community and our economy. Now, Marquis, his last time out against Arizona, was working on a 3-hit shutout in the 6th inning when he threw and hit Justin Upton. There had been warnings before that, as there was a little high and inside party going on between the two teams. So he is waiting the answer to his appeal. He's been suspended for 5 games after being ejected in that game, and no action has been taken thus far, so he's able to pitch tonight. DeNorfia leads it off for the Padres, and the count goes 1-1. Chris leading San Diego 3-0-6. One and two. He's a ground ball pitcher, isn't he, Marquis?
Absolutely, no question about it. He's got that 2-seamer, that fastball that sinks like a shot put at 92. Slider, cutter, change, and a curve. Infielders will be busy if Marquis is on his game.
2-2.
And if you notice the numbers for Marquis, yeah, good numbers this year. Why? Because he's healthy. He's been dealing with some elbow issues last year. Was not at full strength.
2-2. Struck him out. Got him with a slider. The Padres starting lineup brought to you by Evans Tire and Service Centers, home of the free alignment. Bartlett, Brad Huff hits third, Ryan Ludwig in the cleanup spot. Rizzo moves up to the 5th spot. Jorge Cantu at third base bats 6th. Logan Forsythe, Rob Johnson, and Matt Latos in the lower third of the order. Brad Hopp has had good success, as you can see, against Marquee. 8 for 18. He's on deck. Bartlett takes a strike. Now Marquee has enjoyed pitching in the nation's capital. He's 4-0 this year, 2-2 on the road. Another strike, and he's hitting his spots.
Yeah, if he can backdoor that two-seamer to the righties that we just saw there, it's going to be a good night for Jason Marquee. Although, even though he struck out DeNorfe, he's not a strikeout guy, and he's not going to walk a lot hitter. So a lot of balls put in play against Marquee.
Inside, 1-2. First came up to the big leagues at Atlanta, 4 years there, 3 with the Cardinals, 2 with the Cubs, 1 season with Colorado, and this is his 2nd year in Washington. He had quite a run of playoff experience. Ground ball up the middle to his left is Desmond, and throws out his counterpart at shortstop. It's 2 outs in the bottom of the first, and the defense for the Nationals brought to you by North County GMC, a Southern California tradition for over 20 years. Cora and Desmond, Espinoza and Morse, the same infield as last night. Outfield, Nix in left, Bernardino for Ankill in center, Worth in right, and Ramos instead of Pudge Rodriguez behind the plate. And here is Hopp. He's 8 for 18 with a home run and 6 RBIs against Marquee in their head-to-head meetings. Throwing strikes. Against the Padres lifetime, Marquee is 6-5. Good ERA, just under 4. Slider inside. Hopp raising his average to 242. 19 runs batted in, 4 home runs. Got in on his hands with another slider.
Marquee has put together a nice little career. He's entering his 11th year of Major League service, trying to reach that milestone.
And until he came to Washington, for 10 straight years, he was on a team that went to the playoffs.
Yep. Reached his 100th career victory this year. It's quite an accomplishment.
Ground ball. Easy chance for the second baseman Espinoza, and Marquee works a relatively uneventful first inning for the Padres. 3 up, 3 down. No score after 1. Here in San Diego tomorrow. Padres and the Nationals, 5:35 start. First 25,000 of you will receive the Padres Vintage Cap presented by Cox Channel 4. Plus, both teams are going to wear their 1936 uniforms. The Washington Senators, the old flannels for the Nationals, and the Padres wearing their PCL togs. Get your tickets tonight at Padres.com. Lados to Nix, and there's the first base hit of the game as the left-handed hitting Nix punches one up the middle to lead it off. And good news for the Padres after the disappointment last year, unable to sign their #1 pick. There he is, Corey Spangenberg if you please, with his mom and dad and his younger brother. He has signed a contract. The 20-year-old JC Player of the Year, rated the fastest in the draft, the third best hitter. He's on his way to Eugene. Congratulations to Corey Spangenberg. Interesting to follow his career. They feel he's advanced enough that he'll spend some time in Eugene and finish the year in Fort Wayne.
Yeah, we wish him nothing but the best. What a good kid. Met him down in the clubhouse. And you know you're getting old when he says, "Nice to meet you, sir." He dropped a sir on everybody he shook hands with in that clubhouse, and I was very impressed. Good kid.
Made the rounds. They took some batting practice. We'll show you the results of that. Michael Morris, dangerous hitter. He and Ryan Ludwig, in the last 30 games or so, have the two best averages in the National League. He's hit .374 since May 1st. Piling up home runs and RBIs. Now has 9 homers. Leads the team with 34 runs batted in.
Michael Morse was barking at that last called strike by Wally Bell. I thought it was a darn good pitch. Down and in. Big strike zone for the big boy.
Infield at double play depth. Did he go? No. Slider in the dirt. Able to check.
Well, let's check it from the side. I'll guarantee you he goes. Oh, my goodness. If he hits that one, Dick, it's a double.
Yeah, well, that'd be a sarcastic double and a potential triple.
Wow. How did they not bang him on that one?
I got to see you in an umpire talk someday. You'd be punching out everybody.
I would love to get down there and call balls and strikes. The strike zone would be from the chin to the ankles. About 2 baseballs widths on each side of the plate. My theory is go to hacking, guys.
Batter comes up and taps the barrel end of his bat on home plate. If he's a little bit forward, that's strike one. 1-2 to Morse. Out of play. Well, this is before the game after meeting all the Padres and coaches and manager Bud Black. Then Bud Black went out and pitched batting practice to the kid. And Spangenberg showed exactly what the Padres knew they were getting. A line drive hitter, very fast. And he made a Tony Gwynn type comment. He said, "Oh, this Petco Park, does it ever have a lot of outfield grass? I like that."
Like to see that. He was going up the center of the diamond, kind of peppering that L screen, protecting Buddy Black when he was throwing batting practice, and kind of wearing out the 5.5 hole as well.
Yeah, Tony Gwynn, I'm sure, will really like the talent that the Padres have signed today. Didn't take any time at all. Another foul as Morse hangs tough. Since May 1st, Ryan Ludwig has hit .374 and Morse .368. That's in the last 30 games. So the two best hitters in the National League in the last month, you might call it. And he hits this one well to left field, and Ludwig just turns and watches to see how far it goes. Into the upper deck, 2-run shot. Morse, he is a powerful hitter. 2-0. Washington on Morse's 10th home run of the year. No doubt about that blast.
Talked about it as Matt Latos towed the hill, keeping the ball in the ball yard, and Michael Morse, a 1-2 pitch. So Matt's ahead. Man, he gets his hands through. He put a good swing on it. Matt Latos tried to get into the kitchen and just didn't get it in far enough.
That's in the 420 range. So a quick lead for the Nationals, 2-0. And a heavy swing by Espinoza, who's also a long ball hitter. In fact, Morse's 10th home run has tied Espinoza for the club lead. Robbed of his 11th last night by Will Venable out in center field. Went over the top of the fence to take it back in the yard.
Well, let's see how Matt Latos reacts now after giving up the 2-run shot. Try to erase that. It's down towards the bottom of the order, but Danny Espinoza, pretty good looking hitter, switch hitter.
Long Beach State. Well, if you had been umpiring, Morse never would have had that home run swing.
Exactly.
He would have been struck out.
He definitely went on that check swing, and Matt Latos did not get the call. And that's one of those situations, you know what? It didn't go your way, so hang with him. It only takes one more pitch to get the guy out, right?
1-2 now to Espinoza. No one out. What was wrong with that one?
I don't know. I thought that was a pretty good pitch. It was a nice curveball from Matt. Now, every umpire has a different zone. We know that as we take a look at this one.
It's right down the middle, belt high.
Looks like that to me.
2-2. And then he gets the call on the inside corner. Espinoza peeling away on the inside fastball. Well, sometimes umpires recognize that, hey, they have missed the one before. If the next one's close, you better be swinging.
Hey, umpires miss them too. Yeah, that's a good call. Maybe, there are times when umpires get fooled as well, but no fooling around on this pitch. Matt Latos buries it on the inside corner. Might have been in a little bit, but he gets the call.
First strikeout for Latos, one away to Wilson Ramos. His 5th home run of the year last night. Slider to start this sequence. Ramos doing a great job behind the plate, throwing out runners trying to steal.
46%, 11 for 23.
That's best in the National League.
And to quantify that number, his 46% when the league average is 32-ish, 33%. That's the major league average. So this guy's got a cannon.
Misses. Final already in from Florida, and the Marlins defeated Arizona 6-4 tonight. Colorado pummeling the Dodgers 6-0 in the 6th in Denver. 2-2. San Francisco hosting Cincinnati, just underway up north. The 2-2 pitch. Misses with a curveball. A leadoff single by Nix, a ground ball through the middle. And Michael Morse hitting a He-Man home run. And he lost him. He was ahead on the count, 1-2. So 1 out walk to the number 8 hitter, Alex Cora. His older brother Joey, a former Padre.
Now, this is a classic example where I think Matt Latos can really knock the bat out of Alex Cora's hands. Do not throw him a breaking ball for a strike. You speed up his bat, and he's got the ability to pull it down the right field line. Let's see if he starts him up hard away. Get ahead 0-1. There you go. Wow.
Didn't get the call.
And we know the body language of Matt Latos. I mean, there are times when he's out there, he does not get a call, and he starts, walking around the mound saying, hey, how come I can't get that call? And it affects his next pitch and his next pitch.
And the umpire's judgment also it affects.
Mm-hmm.
They do squeeze him. He does get squeezed. 2-0.
And Darren Balsley's going to have a little visit. I mean, look at Matt. He's taking the ball. He's walking behind walking behind the batters. Walking behind the pitcher's mound. He's frustrated.
I mean, he's got to be reminding him, hey, it's early. Yes, they got 2 runs. You walked a man, you thought you had him, you thought you had more struck out. So life isn't always fair, big boy. Go out there and throw strikes.
That's a good point. And you know, Darren works with him on his side sessions, and they sit down and they talk about certain situations, and it's easier said than done, but you cannot let it affect you. You got to forget about the last pitch and make a quality pitch the next pitch.
Ramos with 1 out at first base. Cora was 0 for 3 last night with a sacrifice fly. His 6th RBI of the year. Good bunter. Hits that high in the air to right center. Denorfia calling. And so was right fielder Brad Hobb, but the center fielder, as he should, commands the play. That brings up pitcher Jason Marquis, and again, he's one of the better hitters among the pitching corps in the National League. 8 hits this year and 30 at-bats. The home run by Morse measured at 427 feet. He got all of it. Strike as the right-handed pitching Marquis hits from the left side. He looks like he belongs in the batter's box. Breaking ball for a strike, and our leaderboard tonight brought to you by Los Primos, home of the Monster Burrito. Get your $5 meal deal, limited time only. Carlos Zambrano, we know he can hit. Switch hitting hitter for the Cubs. Has the most hits so far this year, and down goes Marquis. He's not going to equal Zambrano's 9. He's out on strikes. The second strikeout of the inning for Latos, as the Nationals get the first 2 runs of the game on the 2-run blast by Michael Morse. Finale of this homestand on Sunday. Tim Stauffer against Jordan Zimmerman. Get out to the park early. It's the Padres Photo Day presented by Verizon. And the Nationals and Padres will go to work at 1:05. Plus, the first 8,000 of you kids 14 and younger will get one of those Padres sweatbands presented by Northgate Gonzalez Market. Visit Padres.com for your tickets tonight.
Okay, time to regroup. You know, Matt went down to the clubhouse, maybe checking out some video, maybe blow off a little steam. That's okay. Get right back out there. Forget about that second inning. And that's what Darren is so good. You know, Darren is so calm, right? If you get a coach who's all high-wired and yelling, and that's going to feed to the young kid, Latos. Darren is nice, calm, cool, and collected.
Ryan Ludwig leads off the Padres second inning, raising his average here in this last month to 265 without a home run here on the homestand, but he's hitting a lot of line drive base hits, and that taps out in front of home plate, and Ramos with a easy play. 4 straight retired by Marquis, and we are at the Cold Hard Blast presented by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Most played base hit in the last several years in San Diego. Anthony Rizzo, second at bat, big leagues, hits it halfway up on the Geico sign and races around the bags for his first major league hit, a triple. Rizzo also walked twice last evening. Tailing fastball, ball 1. At Tucson, 365. There they are, the numbers. 16 homers, led the PCL with 63 runs batted in. 2-0.
He just looks so calm at the plate, doesn't he?
Discipline.
Yes.
And that's what I got out of last night. He didn't chase balls in the dirt. I mean, he waited for his pitch.
Yep. And I know it's a small sample size that we've seen of Anthony Rizzo, but looks like he's got a pretty good idea. Like recognizing a ball and just letting it go by, not even offering at it.
3-0. With Jorge Cantu on deck. That's on the corner. Two-seamer. Outfield deep in all positions and straight away. Ball 4. Padres have their first base runner.
Well, remember the 3-0 pitch that we saw? It was a two-seamer down and away. Look at how far off the plate this is, and Marquis gets the call. All right, Rizzo's just going to say, okay. I'm going to call that a ball or call that a strike. That's okay. I only need one pitch in the zone to make it hurt. I'll take my walk on the next pitch. Thank you.
So Cantu represents the tying run here in the second. Try to negate the 2-run homer by Morse. Jorge with 3 home runs. Inside, ball 1. 89 on that fastball. Not going to overpower you, Marquis.
In fact, he's one of these types of pitchers to where if he takes a little off, that two-seamer will have more action to it. Look at the movement on that pitch. Man, that's like a wiffle ball. Remember the wiffle ball, the yellow bats with the ball that came with it? You place the holes on a certain side and they would just go across the plate and move about 3 feet. That's what that looked like.
Fouled away, and Cantu down on the count, 1-2. Giants got a run in the first inning, lead 1-0 against the Reds. Batting in the top of the second, Cincinnati. Infield set for a possible ground ball double play chance.
I'd like to see Jorge Cantu split a gap here and watch the Riz kid go from first. See the big horse gallop, huh? We saw him last night. Moves pretty well for a big kid.
Young stallion. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chop, foul.
You know, I just thought of something. Speaking of Rizzo being the young kid, and could you imagine if, say, a guy like Kyle Blanks, a righty-lefty combo like that, big old horse from the right side and then Rizzo from the left side?
You mentioned Blanks. He's been promoted from San Antonio to Tucson to take Rizzo's place. He's now the first baseman for the Tucson Padres.
You talk about bookends.
Yeah, like a couple of tight ends. Up the middle, the perfect double play ball. And the Nationals turn it with ease. Espinosa, Desmond DeMorse, and the Padres gone 4-6-3 on the twin killing. On to the third, 2-0 Nationals. Nationals, and they'll hit from the top of the order with Roger Bernardina, Desmond, and then Worth against Matt Latos. Bernardina grounded to short his first time, and our special guest here in the third inning, Hall of Famer Dave Winfield. You've got a big smile. You've been smiling all day. Big luncheon today. Negro League All-Stars and the Hall of Fame went terrifically, I hear.
Oh, yeah, it did. This is the 8th year in a row. I'll wait for the out. 8th year in a row, we've honored these gentlemen who in their twilight years, but they played baseball, didn't get a chance. 2 of them played in the major leagues. 6 of them did not get a chance.
Who was the youngest pup of the group?
84 years old. Don Newcomb.
Oh, he looks great, doesn't he?
Oh, he does. He's very sharp, very bright. And when you were a roommate of Jackie Robinson, stories forever.
Oh, my.
Wonderful people, though.
Well, you're going to have to give us the best of the stories you heard today. I'm sure it went on and on.
Yeah, we have a gentleman, Art Superman Pennington, played about 27 years in the minors. He got up to the minor leagues. But we asked him, who was the best guy you ever played against? He said, well, it's hard to remember back then. I can't remember yesterday sometimes. He said, but I was one of the best guys that I ever saw. So, you know, what can you say?
Art Superman Pennington of the Chicago American Giants.
You know, Dave, in this day and age, we all talk about awareness, whatever it's for a charity, for whatever. I think minor league players, big league players today, there should be an education on the Negro Leagues and what they went through and what they mean to the game of baseball. It almost like give these guys a test because they should learn about the history not only of Major League Baseball but the Negro Leagues and what they went through.
Well, Mark, I really think just any ball player, you know, if you respect the sport, you know its history. Mm-hmm. You know where you came from, who gave you the opportunity. You know, today in Major League Baseball, 40% of the guys are people of color or from another country. And if we're not for these guys who led the way from 1920 to the early 1950s, the door would never have been open for these guys. So, but when a lot of these guys meet these players, their eyes are wide open. And they had a great time in the locker room, sharing stories with one another. It was a good day for the older gentlemen and the young Padres as well.
Absolutely. Orlando Hudson was there, I know, and he enjoyed it.
Oh, dog boy, he was on fire. Actually, he came to the luncheon and he bought one of the jerseys that was signed by the guys, one of the California Monarchs. He was going up against Jeff Morad. I said, uh-oh, I broke out in a sweat.
And Rizzo, they said, hold on there. Good catch made by the fan right behind the Padre dugout. Count remains 3-2 on Ian Desmond. I heard Big Nuke got up there and he got on in the pulpit and he was preaching to these young guys saying, hey, you're not running enough, you pitchers.
Oh, yeah, because a person asked, why are the guys being injured so much? And Don was an advocate of definitely getting more running in, stretching the limbs, not so much as bulking up. He said, I can't imagine why they're having so many injuries, but he advocated, like I said, he asked Bud Black. He said, Bud, are the guys running enough? Bud, he said, well, I'm with you, Don. I'm with you. Yeah. So it was really a wonderful lunch, and one of the key things that we did, and I appreciate what Jeff Morad and Tom Garfinkel did, they honored a couple of the guys that never made it to the major leagues and gave them a Padres jersey with their name on it, made them honorary San Diego Padres, so they have a taste of being accepted by the major leagues.
Here are some of those great stars from the Negro Leagues. This is pregame ceremony.
It's Mr. Pennington, and there is there's Neil Henderson, and Mr. Ernie Johnson, came from Iowa.
Line drive over Bartlett's head for a base hit as Desmond with a good at bat fouled off several and singles to left field with one out.
I would love to sit in a room with those gentlemen and just hear the stories. Just roll the tape and just tell stories and just yuck it up and have a bunch of laughs.
Well, you know what? And sometimes they didn't get the same opportunities. That the world was different. Mm-hmm. But these guys are not mad at the world. They've gone on. They were in the military. They had jobs across this country. Good Americans. And one of the gentlemen, Mr. Johnson, I believe. No, excuse me.
Jumpin' Johnny Johnson? Wilson. Jumpin' Johnny Wilson.
Yeah, he had not been on an airplane since 1954.
Wow.
And we invited him. He said, I'm coming. So he came all the way from cross country. And we've had guys come from Iowa, Pennsylvania, Cincinnati, Los Angeles, and local. Just one of the gentlemen, Mr. Mule Miles, was unable to make it. He wasn't feeling good. But we still had 8 people involved, and it was still a wonderful, wonderful affair.
I like it. All these players had wonderful nicknames. Yeah, I think about Cool Papa Bell, and that's one of my favorite stories. But the men today, Bobo Henderson, Nuke, of course, Newcomb, Superman Pennington, Schoolboy Johnson, Mule Miles, Jumpin' Johnny Wilson. That's great stuff.
Yeah, you had to have a nickname. You know, they had to promote the sport. They traveled the country, barnstorming. They played internationally.
Runner goes. A throw by Johnson is there in time. Bartlett with a tag. Desmond thrown out trying to steal.
We're playing better. I have to chip in. I have to say, we're playing better.
You know, one of my favorite nicknames as we take a look at this throw from Rob. Not the greatest jump. So he tried to make it up with the speed for Desmond, but Rob Johnson fires a P-Rod, and he slides right into the tag. My favorite nickname, Double Duty Radcliffe. And I met him at a charity event like 10 years ago back in my hometown. And I said, why did they call you double duty? He goes, because the first game I pitched and the second game I caught.
He did.
Double duty.
You know, he lived to be about 102.
Did he really?
He really did. He had a
awesome.
great life. And I'll just say this, you know, each year we try to do a great job for these guys because we can't do it forever. 20 years, they won't be around anymore.
Yeah.
So the oral history will be gone. Their presence will be gone. One of the gentlemen, I'll just tell you, well, innings over. We had a great time. Thank you, San Diego, everybody who supported it. And these men love it. Thanks for everything.
And
it's a great thing you do, Dave.
A donation by the Padres as well to the museum, which is in Kansas City.
$10,000.
All right, man. That's a great effort. And congratulations.
Thanks.
Good to see you.
Beautiful.
Dave, good to see you.
All right, guys.
Bring that bass voice back sometime.
I'll see you.
By Lolitas at the park, where you can enjoy fresh Mexican food and happy hour 7 days a week. By Permadontics, Southern California's premier dental implant center. And by your Southern California Porsche dealers. Visit them online at socal.porschedealer.com. Logan Forsythe, Rob Johnson, Matt Latos to bat in the bottom of the third against Jason Marquis. No Padre hits thus far. A walk to Rizzo, the only base runner. And the count goes 2 strikes. We're thinking about Jerry Hairston, of course, down in the dugout for the Washington Nationals. His dad, Jerry, played in the big leagues, but his granddad, Sam, was the first African-American to play for the White Sox back in 1951. And we were asking Jerry about Cool Papa Bell, who was supposedly the fastest of all the players in the old Negro leagues. And they the line was he was so fast that when he entered the hotel room, he turned off the switch to turn off the light, and he was under the covers before the room got dark. and actually, that was true. And he said that his granddad Sam said that in those days they traveled and stayed in very cheap hotels, and the electricity wasn't that good. So by the time the lights did really dim and go out, he was under the covers. Cool, Papa Bell. 2-2 the count. Struck out Forsythe. Second strikeout for Marquis, who's having it his own way thus far.
Marquis dissecting both parts of the plate. Down and away, down and in. This one down and away with the slider. He will counter with that pitch. You can see his hand work around the baseball to get that rotation with that two-seamer down and in.
Brings up Rob Johnson. Hitting 180 with a home run and 5 RBIs. Hitting in tough luck as well. A lot of line drives that just won't find an opening for Rob. Fouled into the glove. Slider.
And Rob knows that if he's not doing it with the wood, he's going to have to do it with his arm and the glove, and he did just that last inning, throwing out Ian Desmond, trying to steal.
Trying to pick on that corner. Latos on deck. 2-0 Nationals on a 2-run home run by Michael Morris. 427 feet into the second deck. Left field bleachers. And it was beyond the aisle. Bounces the slider. 2-2. Tomorrow night, 5 o'clock, for the Honda Dealers pregame show here on Channel 4 San Diego. Clayton Richard goes against John Lannon, the left-hander. Remember how well he pitched in Washington. 7 2/3 innings. Didn't allow a run. Only a couple of hits. That was the game where the Padres got a home run from Bartlett in the 9th inning to tie it at 1. And then the same Michael Morse greeted Mike Adams with a long home run. The first pitch that Adams threw, and the Nationals won that opener of the series 2-1. Struck him out. Third strikeout for Marquis as he breezes through the lineup. And here's Matt Latos.
That last pitch looked like it was going to start on the outside corner of the plate, then ended up in near the belt buckle. Tremendous movement on that two-seamer.
Latos, one hit. It was a good one. Home run in 19 at bats. Two and 0. There's the big right-hander, Don Newcomb, Rookie of the Year. As I recall, first ever Cy Young Award winner.
I believe you're right. Absolutely.
And MVP.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he's the only player to win all three. Latos with a good cut, 2-1. And a good man.
Oh.
I can remember as a young broadcaster in L.A. He couldn't have been nicer to me. There he is. He was an imposing figure.
Rookie of the Year, Most Valuable Player, Cy Young Award winner.
Look at that wind-up.
1949.
You got to think, though.
Yep.
He's describing how big my brain is there. He holds his thumb and forefinger apart. Well, one pitch away from striking out the side, and he does exactly that. Punching out Forsythe, Johnson, and Latos. And Jason Marquis showing why he's the top national pitcher this year. 6-2 coming in. trivia question brought to you by AT Wireless. Who is the oldest rookie to play in the major leagues? The oldest to break in Major League history. We'll have the answer for you bottom half of the inning.
And I think I know that one.
And I think it's appropriate to the theme of tonight.
And Dick, I want to correct myself after this pitch because
Lance Nix takes a strike.
Don Newcomb, 1956, he was the NL MVP, and 1956 as well, he won the Cy Young Award. In 1949, he was the Rookie of the Year.
Pretty good portfolio.
Absolutely.
Nix, who singled his first time up and then rode home on Morse's giant home run. 283 coming into the game. Two-strike pitch. Got him. Chased something in the dirt. Rob Johnson records the out at first. Fooled him on a slider. 4 strikeouts from Matt Latos.
When you have the electric fastball and then the electric slider, not the electric slide, that's a dance. This is the electric slider. It looks like a fastball. Nix has no choice. Out of the hand, it looks like a fastball. And a nice job by Rob Johnson smothering that ball for the old 2-3 put out.
That electric slide, isn't that where they use the cow poke on you? and you
the cattle prod?
Oh boy, you could really make some moves when that thing hits you.
That'll get you going.
Back in my Michigan farm days. Talk about a two-step. No waltzing when you get hit with one of those. 1 strike the count on Morse. In some ways, the way from our early sample of Anthony Rizzo, the way he swings, this is a right-handed version of it. Morse, he just gets his money's worth on every cut. Takes a strike, 0-2.
I'd like to see Matt Latos go up the ladder here on this 0-2 pitch. If it's out of the zone, so be it. But Morse has shown us in the past, in Washington and here last night, he'll chase that high fastball and the slider down and away.
He was 2 for 4 last night and 2 strikeouts.
There's that slider.
Knocked in a run. Took a while for Morse to finally develop into a dangerous hitter. Really started last year at Washington. Got him. Fastball. So Latos has struck out 3 in a row and has a total of 5. And that takes us to the Freeze Cam, brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. It features Danny Espinosa last night as he, against Frieri, hits one that looks to be gone. That must be number 11. Will Venable goes out and up high like a great basketball player that he was, goes up and gets the rebound, takes it right off the boards.
You know the amazing thing about that play? I mean, the catch itself, but if you look, it looked like Will was playing on the shortstop side of second base. That was a long run for him to get to that point.
It was indeed. But he intersected perfectly right at the fence as the ball arrived. Big swing by Espinosa. 1-1. Slider. Nationals with 2 runs on 3 hits. Padres no runs, no hits. Off-speed curveball. 79. 2-1. 24-year-old infielder. Former 49er at Cal State Long Beach. High fly ball, shallow in the infield. Bartlett right there on the outfield grass. And Latos has an easy 1, 2, 3, 4th inning. Coming up for the Padres, Denorfia, Bartlett, and Hopp. Where are the hits? Wireless trivia answer, a question: who's the oldest rookie to play Major League Baseball? And the answer, the remarkable Satchel Paige. 1948, Paige became the oldest man to debut in the big leagues. He was 42 years old in 2 days, or at least that's what he said he was. St. Louis Browns were beating the Indians 4-1, and the Indians manager Lou Boudreau pulled starting pitcher Bob Lemon and inserted Paige into the game. Ground ball, one hop. Good stop at third base by Cora to deny Denorfia. That's the first hard hit ball by the Padres tonight. To follow up on Satchel, he went on to play parts of 6 different major league seasons with Cleveland, the St. Louis Browns, and the Kansas City A's. He played his final game September 1965, and if my math is correct, he was 59 years old then when he retired. Ted Williams said he was as tough to hit as anyone he ever faced.
He was elected to the Hall of Fame in 1971, the first player to be inducted into the Hall from the Negro Leagues. That's one guy I would love to go back in time and watch play.
Ground ball, Bartlett to the right side, and Marquis continues to run out the outs. Padres have had only one base runner. That was Rizzo, who walked, and he was quickly erased on Cantu's double play ball. So Marquis working to the absolute minimum with 2 outs here in the 4th inning.
You know, I think we're talking about Satchel. He played for the St. Louis Browns 1951 to 53. I think that was a Bill Veeck sign, wasn't it? When Bill Veeck
was there, yeah. He was the general manager then.
That's great stuff. By the way, a great read. Veeck as in Wreck. It's a great book about the life and times of Bill Veeck, former owner of the Browns and the Chicago White Sox and the minor league Milwaukee Brewers back in the day.
He was really the father of marketing the game, I mean, that we all use now. The various promotions and giveaways that all the ball clubs offer their fans. And he was right out in the front of that. You didn't get anything for free back in the 50s. You used Eddie Goodell as the midget to start a game and got him on a walk and replaced him. Now he would try, various promotions that no one had ever heard of before. Now they're commonplace. And the count goes to 1-2 to Brad Hopp. Good changeup. Hopp grounded to second. We said that Marquis was a ground ball pitcher.
I'll tell you what, that outside corner for the strike zone. Wally Bell is given about 2 baseball widths, I would say.
Padres do not have an out in the outfield. They've either hit it on the ground or struck out. Marquis with 4 strikeouts and everything else ground balls. Ryan Ludwig on deck. And another ground ball. And they're just routine little fungo grounders that he's serving up. 3 more groundouts. Padres in order. 4 innings, the minimum of 12 men faced.
Mid-game recap brought to you by Murray Lamper Construction. Home remodeling with no upfront design fees. Visit murraylamper.com and click on Request a Quote to schedule an in-home consultation. Call Greg Cantor. Tell him that I sent you. Dick?
All right, Mark Grant, here we go. 2-0 Nationals, fifth inning. Wilson Ramos against Matt Latos, a curveball. And a ball and a strike to the catcher. Cora and then Marquis to follow in the fifth. 2 runs in the second. Leadoff single Nix, and Morse a no doubt home run, 427 feet long to left. And Latos settling down since then, allowing only 1 walk and 1 single. So 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, 1 left for Washington. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left for the Padres.
There's that 4-seamer we talked about. It has a little bit of run on it. That ball at 94 ran off the plate. Sometimes a pitcher will get extended and just, without thinking about it, working around that baseball and gets that little Mariano Rivera type cut to it.
2-2, and it's fouled at the plate. Chop toward the hole, cut off by Cantu. 1 away. Changeup got Ramos out in front. Here's Alex Cora, fly to center field, his first at bat. What a lot of folks don't realize about the old Negro leagues is the crowds that they attracted. I mean, they played the top level leagues, you know, the Grays and teams like the Monarchs,
the Clowns.
Indianapolis Clowns.
Yeah.
I mean, it was commonplace to, you know, fill a ballpark, 35,000, 40,000 fans. If you just had the facility big enough, they would come. There's the good fastball at 94. 1-1 the count to Cora. Had a chance to see the first African American to play in the American League. Jackie, of course, in 47 and 48. Larry Doby was signed by the Cleveland Indians. And the Indians came to Detroit. My dad took me to the game to see Doby. He was a magnificent outfielder, tremendous power. 2-2. And those days, it was a white man's world. You know, it was an adjustment everyone was trying to make. All of a sudden, we're really going to be equal here? That's in there. What? No call. A little low. Rob Johnson thought he had a strike. He was ready to fire it around the horn. Full count to Cora. Inside, ball 4. And that's not a very good walk, the second, because it allows then Marquis to bunt the man over. Second walk allowed by Latos.
Sometimes I think when Matt misses big time with a pitch here or there, whether it's down out of the zone or up and away, I think it's just natural for pitchers sometimes to try to overthrow. When he overthrows his fastball, he'll miss. Sometimes, yeah, he'll get it in the right area, but he's got to learn how to control that.
Marquis squaring and taking ball 1. Struck out his first time. 8 hits this year and 30 at bats. Lifetime 200 hitter with 5 home runs. Cantu creeping in from third. Oh,
you almost smelled that one coming, huh?
Yeah.
The old butcher boy
gave him a chance to swing.
And Matt Latos countered with a slider there to Marquis.
He was a Silver Slugger award winner with the Cardinals back in 2002 as the top hitting pitcher in the National League. Now he's got him guessing. What is he going to do this time? Going to bunt. Out in front of the plate. Cantu rushes in to make the out. With Forsythe covering at first base, the sacrifice successful. Cora moves up to second. He's in scoring position. And Bernardina comes up to hit.
Cantu playing a little league third base there. He takes charge. And watch the footwork of Forsythe. Switches from his left foot to his right foot because the throw was on the foul side of the bag there. You might not think much of it, but you know the footwork is very, very key for all the middle infielders. I mean, infielders in general. And he looked very smooth on that one, transferring his body to get in front of that baseball.
The sixth sense the infielders have. All the great ones have wonderful feet.
Yeah.
Breaking ball strike.
Thought of a nickname for Logan Forsythe. Since you're a Chippewa,
Right.
And he's from Memphis, a Chickasaw.
Chickasaw.
The Memphis Chicks. It used to be the minor league team there.
Yeah. Probably still are, aren't they? They're still the Chicks.
I think so. I'll have to check on that. But they were a Montreal Expos minor league affiliated team back in the 80s. The Memphis Chicks.
Strike two. Changeup. Bernardina has grounded out twice to short and to first.
You're right, though. Not enough nicknames these days. You're talking about the Negro Leagues. Love the nicknames.
Even Satchel Paige. Suitcase Simpson. In the dirt. There's the automatic 1-2.
Leroy Robert Satchel Paige. That was his real name. Leroy Robert Page.
Yeah, the old hot stove league after the season. Get those great players around telling stories, embellishing each year. Oh, to be included. 1-2.
And just to button up that story, according to Page, his nickname originated from childhood when he worked toting bags at the train station. Said he wasn't making enough money at a dime a bag, so he used a pole and a rope to build a contraption that allowed him to cart up to 4 bags at once.
2-2. And he misses again in the dirt. So full count to Bernardina. He had him 2 strikes down.
And another kid supposedly yelled, quote, "You look like a walking satchel tree," end quote, hence the name Satchel.
Yeah, he was kind of the Mark Twain of the Negro Leagues. Clever verbiage, philosophy of life. You know, don't look back. Someone may be gaining on you. Full count to Bernardina. Cora at second. Got him. Changeup. That's been a good weapon for Latos tonight. 6 strikeouts for the right-hander. No runs, no hits, a man left. We're at the halfway mark in this one at Petco Park. And the Nationals lead the Padres 2-0.
Run inning presented by Harrah's Rincon Casino. Listen to this, folks. $27,000 you could win if a grand slam has hit this inning. Enter at 4sd.com. You heard it right. $27,000 if a grand slam has hit this inning. Good luck.
Ryan Ludwig leads it off. And he grounds it by third. Fair ball. There's the first Padre hit. Ludwig turns at first. It's going to be close at second. Here comes the throw. And he just does slide under the tag. Espinosa flagging the ball on the leg of Ludwig, and he just got those cleats, those spikes on the bag in time. Double by Ludwig. Finally, the Padre fans a chance to cheer a base hit as Marquis had gone through 4 innings of no-hit ball.
Well, so much going on there. A hanging breaking ball, and that ball, after it passes the bag, sure, it landed foul, but according to John Hirschbeck, it went over the bag fair. That makes it a fair ball. A nice play by Lance Nix in left field. The lefty comes up throwing, and the race is on. Just gets his foot there in time.
Ball bounced up just enough on the hop to get Ludwig under the tag, and here's the kid, Rizzo. He walked the first time, the only other base runner for the Padres tonight. So he has walked his last 3 at-bats after the triple in his second at-bat last night. He walked twice and then walked to the first time tonight. And he takes a big cut. And this is one of the many things that he did down at Tucson that was eye-popping with runners in scoring position. 463, 7 home runs, 45 runs batted in. So
that's not missing many mistakes, and that's squaring up the baseball with some serious consistency. And clutch hitting, let's face it.
Ludwig continues his consistent hitting. 8 of the last 9 games with at least 1 hit. Hitting around 350 in that span. Rizzo with a chance to collect his first major league RBI. No one out. In the dirt, gets away. Oh, it hit him. It hit him. So 5 straight times, Rizzo safely aboard after he was called on and strikes his first at bat. Triple, walk, hit by pitch.
Looked like Marquis tried to film a slider down and in, and it just hits him on the leg. Back shin, the left shin. No, he didn't even flinch.
So the tying run on, no one out. Carried by Rizzo. Ludwig out at second. Padres with their first chance tonight. And here's Cantu, grounded into a 4-6-3 double play his first time. Over but low, ball 1. So Marquis working from the windup almost the entire game. Now has to deliver his pitches from the stretch. Sometimes that makes a difference, even with a veteran like this 32-year-old. Clip foul, 1-1. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Padres with their first hit, a leadoff double, Ludwig. Rizzo hit by a pitch, and it's 1-1 to Cantu. Pulls that one foul. He hasn't really been able to square it up against Marquis.
Not many mistakes thrown by Marquis, and what I mean by that is down the heart of the plate. That sinker into the righties, sliders down and away. That seems to be his MO tonight. He did throw one mistake. That double to Ryan Ludwig was a hanging slider just over the pillow of third base line for that double.
Infield back looking for 2. Hit well to left field. Back goes the left fielder Nix, and he's there to make the catch. Ludwig will tag and won't try to advance. That ball died in a hurry. Didn't quite hit it solidly. Off the bat, looked like a chance, but got in on him apparently, or maybe it was off the head of the bat, but he didn't hit the sweet spot.
Let's check out the sequence of pitches via the Carl's Jr. pitch track. Remember what I said. Fastballs in, sliders down and away. There are 2 sinkers. Okay, now he resorts to the slider down and away. Again, a slider, that's the mistake there. But where that pitch was on contact, maybe just got in on him a little bit. Jorge couldn't get extended. Maybe a little bit too quick and towards the end of the bat.
So 1 out to Logan Forsythe. He struck out his first time. Center fielder Bernardina and Worth and Wright not respecting Forsythe having any power, and that opens up a big hole in left center field. Ball 1. Plenty of room between left fielder Nix and the center fielder Bernardina. Outside corner, 1-1. That fastball has so much movement.
It does. He doesn't throw anything straight. And you have to force a sinker baller to get that pitch up. We hear it all the time. Guys like Derek Lowe, Brandon Webb when he was healthy. There it is again. 2-seamer away.
Yeah, you go back to Cantu's at bat. You know, those pitches were all at the very bottom of the strike zone or out of the strike zone, and Cantu fouled off, and finally fly it out. 63 total pitches now for Marquis. Ahead on the count again, 1-2. That didn't miss by much. A slider hung inside. Ludwig and Rizzo ready to go. Forsythe can get into one. Rob Johnson on deck. At the right fielder. Worth was there, comes up a step, and no chance to advance on medium deep fly ball. So 2 away. The first 2 fly outs by the Padres in the game here in the 5th inning is Cantu to left and Forsythe to right. And Rob Johnson comes up with 2 gone. Ludwig still at second and Rizzo at first. Johnson struck out first time.
A little chat going on there with Ramos and Marquis.
Marquis calls him back.
Well, last time, remember, they got Johnson swinging. Maybe at first pitch, so they don't want to give signs. Sometimes catchers will do that. Hey, guy on second base, let's start him off with this pitch here. And the catcher won't give him a sign. So let's see if that's the case here with Ramos. No sign, just setting up.
Ball 1. Wanted it low. Low target by Ramos every pitch.
Interesting to see how he'll pitch him as well, because essentially there is a base open, that being third base with the pitcher on deck.
Ooh, that one skipped in and blocked by Ramos. 2-0 to Johnson. Runners in scoring position this year. Johnson only 2 for 23.
Boy, Marquis nearly bounced that one back to the screen. Oy vey.
Time called while somebody retrieves a ball. Yeah, that's Griffin Benedict, the bullpen catcher. Ball got away from somebody out there in the bullpen. So 2-0 to Rob Johnson. He's in the catbird seat here. Chance to look for something you like and try to drive in a run. He misses again, 3-0.
Did not give him anything. I mean, from the first pitch, really gave you an indication that Marquis, and after the visit with Ramos, first pitch wasn't even close.
Latos on deck. Low strike. Slider.
This could go from a somewhat pitch around to an at bat to where Marquis says, okay, if I get 2 strikes on this guy, I'll go for the punch out. Make him fish for one. He's going to make him fish here, I believe. Slider down and away. Oh, he hung it. Hung a breaking ball.
But Johnson barely fouled it.
Yep. Actually got jammed on that one.
Ludwig at second. Rizzo at first. They'll be off with a pitch. 2 outs here in the 5th.
Now, logically thinking, Dick, you would think a breaking ball here, right? He threw a breaking ball 3-0, 3-1, now 3-2. I'm guessing slider. If I'm going to play the guessing game here, 2 in. Oh, fastball in. First sign after 2. Let's see if it's a 2-seamer in. Well, he set up away.
Base hit to center field. No! Denied by Espinosa. Wasn't hit hard enough. Dying liner, and Espinosa, a good break on the ball, able to snare it and deny the Padres here in the 5th inning. They leave 2. Friday, June 24th, in 2 weeks, they face off against the Atlanta Braves at 7:05 for College Night, presented by Chegg.com. College students, you get your tickets for only $8. The action keeps going after the game. A spectacular fireworks show presented by Northgate Gonzalez Market. Get your tickets tonight at Padres.com. You collegians, come out and see the Padres and the Braves on June 24th. Latos goes to work in the 6th inning. Desmond, Worth, and Nick scheduled for Washington. Still leading on the 2nd inning 2-run home run by Michael Morse. Desmond singled his last time up. Changeup has him out in front. He has struck out more than any national, 61 times.
Well, Matt Latos is doing a fine job of throwing that changeup. 2nd, 3rd time around against these Nets.
This is outside. 1-2. Well, the Padres go to Colorado, Minnesota, and Boston on the next road trip beginning on Monday night. And Our good friend Jane Mitchell will be there in Boston as a guest speaker at the Great Fenway Park Writers Series. Foul back. Of course, her book, very popular, One-on-One, My Journey with Hall of Famers, fan favorites, and rising stars. And she'll be speaking on behalf of so many of the people that she's interviewed, a lot of them from Boston.
Absolutely. Great read. Nice job, Jane, on the book.
2-2. Fly ball right field. Hop. Couple of steps toward the line. One away.
In fact, remember, it was a great time at the Hall of Champions for the book launch.
Yes, indeed.
Good turnout.
Jason Worth, the batter. And also at the North Coast Repertory Theater, a wonderful little theater in Solana Beach. A gentleman has written a one-man act, one-man show, Ted Williams, A Tip of the Cap. And sadly, I'm going to be gone out of town on my way to Wimbledon. I'd love to see it. June 20th and 21st at the North Coast Rep Theater. One-man play about the thumper.
Yeah. And is it called The Tip of the Cap because Ted Williams never tipped his cap?
Exactly, yeah. And the little line that was used in the promotion, 2-0 to Worth. Does he go? Yes. Was that, you make out 7 out of 10 times and you're still an outstanding hitter. And it kind of reflected his life that, Ted had a side that wasn't so nice, as a lot of writers will tell you. Had some marital problems, family problems with his children. But the greatest hitter that ever lived in the modern era. So the count goes 2-2 to Worth. He'd like to have that one back.
Got an elevated fastball, and that's the one thing about Matt Latos. He's been touching, 94, 95? And I've mentioned it before, even if he misses with location, that ball rides up and in, it's still got a chance to throw it by the guy.
He wanted that one. 95, thought it caught the corner. Bell has been 2 different umpires.
Yeah.
When Marquis out there, that's a strike.
Absolutely.
Chop toward third. That's going to be impossible for Cantu. He just picks it up and takes a bite out of it. A swinging bunt single for Jason Worth. Only the 4th hit allowed by Latos. Brings up Lance Nix. He has one of the hits, a single in the 2nd, then came in on Morse's 2-run homer. You think about these Nationals, they're not scoring a lot of runs. They're down at the bottom of the National League in hitting, along with the Padres. But they got 2 of their best hitters. That one's hit well to right field by Nix. Back goes Hop to the wall and makes the catch. That one just hung up enough as Nix flirts with a 2-run blast.
Under it just a little bit too much. And let's check out the pitch. Looks like it was a fastball.
Latos didn't want to look.
Maybe it was something off speed. Nix caught that ball well out in front of home plate. And Matt Latos happy about that one. You betcha.
So 2 outs to Michael Morse. His ball didn't come down on the warning track. It didn't land until it was high into the upper deck in left field back in the 2nd inning. Struck out in the 4th. So he's either gotten a base hit or struck out in this series. Got 3 hits, 3 strikeouts. Rather unique stance, the way he holds the bat away from his body on his setup. And coils and plows into one.
It's where those hands are when the pitcher gets the release point. And then he'll bring them in and back. There you go. So, I watch Michael Morse swing and miss, and it reminds me of Dave Kingman. Remember the big swings that he used to take and miss?
King Kong.
Oh, Boy, when he squared him up, though. Ooh.
Back in the days, old Dr. Strangeglove, Dick Stewart, he used to take a healthy rip.
Another great nickname.
One and one the count. 2 outs here in the 6th. Got to watch Worth. He has 8 stolen bases. There's a snap throw, and they got him. Johnson. Beautiful throw. He's nailed 2 runners tonight. One trying to steal Desmond, and he picks off Worth. And that's it for the 6th inning. The Nationals are gone. The Padres will bring up Latos, Denorfia, and Bartlett. Depot, more saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Look at that from his knees, Rob Johnson, and kind of fishing for something to tag Rizzo, and now he finally gets him. Actually, he got in under the tag.
Yeah, I think he was safe. Jason Worth playing a great game of Twister down there. Left foot wipe. Going for the bag.
Doing a Michael Phelps. He just swam toward the bag. You didn't know where to get him. Venable leads off for Latos and fouls back, and he falls behind 2 strikes to Marquis. Venable recalled from Tucson after a couple of weeks down AAA ball. Figured he's got his swing back together. Latos, 6 innings, 2 runs, 4 hits. Terrific pitching, but 1 mistake. Ground ball, another one to the shortstop. And Desmond across to Morse for the putout. Padres just keep pounding the ball on the ground as Marquis throwing that good sinker.
Yep.
Denorfia hit it hard, but at the third baseman, he was able to box it Cora and throw him out the last time. 74 pitches for Marquis at this stage. Yeah, Latos, 2nd inning, gave up a leadoff single, and Morse, a 1-2 pitch, deposited it deep into the bleachers, upper deck and left. And that's the game. Two and 0. Bartlett next, and if anyone gets on, Brad Hopp here in the home half of the 6th inning. Jason Marquis pitching quite a game. Line drive, fair ball. That'll get it into the corner. With Denorfia's speed, he's going to make it to second. Ball caroms, and a little trouble out in left for Nix, but he gets it in. And Denorfia with a double. One out here in the sixth. Well, the Padres, 2 hits in the game off Marquis, both doubles.
This ball is smoked like a Christmas ham. You talk about turning on a pitch. It's a 2-seamer in. We've seen pitchers trying to get the ball into Denorfia. What a great swing, great extension. And at first, I'll be quite honest with you, as soon as that ball was struck, I thought it was going to go right into the glove of Alex Cora. But he finds the hole. Nice swing by Chris Denorfia.
Now let's see if the Padres can put a dent in that 2-0 lead. Here's Bartlett, grounded out twice. Shortstop and to the second baseman. Takes low, ball 1. Jason with 18 RBIs on the year. There's a base hit to left. Denorfia had to hold. Now he turns at third, and they'll stop him right there. And Nix, who had a perfect throw coming to the plate. So Glenn Hoffman could see that Denorfia had to wait to see if that ball could get through. So he got a late start. The wise call, stay at third. So first and third with 1 out here in the sixth. Brad Hopp up twice. Grounded out to second base twice.
Marquis starting to get his pitches up a little bit. The sinker to Denorfia, the slider to Bartlett.
Look at that throw by Nix. That was going to be on 1 out. Look at the pitcher. He's
should be
cutting it
backing
off.
up, yeah.
He's out in front of the catcher, Marquis. Not exactly the right position, but no damage done. Well, Hop in a position to create some hurt right here. Low ball 1. Now, this is still Matt Latos' game, so the Padres trying to get him some runs here. Double Denorfia, single Bartlett. Shades of Raleigh fingers up there in the upper deck. Outside. Hop works the count to 2-0.
Remember Marquis earlier in the game, he was getting the call off the plate a little bit. I think that what he was trying to do there, trying to stay off the plate, because if they're calling that, hitters are going to have to offer it. You don't get the best swing, therefore you get a grounder.
And that's what he wants here. They'll give up a run for a chance at a double play. Ball 3 with Ryan Ludwig on deck. Oh, green light, 3-0. Fouled it back.
Once again, starting to get that pitch up. That was on the outer half of the plate, about mid-thigh high. Remember earlier in the game, Marquis, that sinker, that's down around the shoe tops and maybe the shins. The coil and the unload on Hop cannot catch up to it.
So 3-1. Padres at the corners. Denorfia at third, Bartlett at first.
Like a cobra. Coil in, get ready to strike.
Ball 4. Just missed. Marquis wanted that pitch. Bases are loaded. Padre at every pillow. And only the second walk allowed by Marquis tonight. That forces Bartlett to second, where he's in scoring position, carrying the tying run.
Pitching coach Steve McCaddy out to have a chat. Hey, a little pressure on Jason Marquis here.
Saw the scoreboard behind that gathering. The Reds and the Giants are tied at 1 in the 5th. Colorado led 6-0 and hung on 6-5 win. And Right-hander Todd Coffey going to get ready. And the Marlins beat Arizona 6-4 in L West action.
Coffee starting to brew in the bullpen for the Nationals.
Percolating, is he?
Exactly. And Ludwig, be nice to see one of him grind one out of the ballpark. That was a reach, I'll admit it.
This isn't the Grand Slam inning, though.
No, it's not.
No, this would have been kind of exciting an inning ago, huh? Not only for the potential the Padres get back in the game. Bases loaded. 328. He has one career slam. Ball one.
Just before that pitch, I was going to mention, remember, Ryan Ludwig likes the ball in, right? He can turn on a fastball in. Jason Marquis has been elevating the sinker and missing with location. Be interesting to see if Marquis misses middle into Ludwig and what would happen.
Anthony Rizzo on deck. One out, bases loaded. That's a strike. Fastball at the knees.
That's making an adjustment right there. That is a pinpoint pitch, a pitcher's pitch, working down in the zone.
Infield well back at all positions. Denorfia third, Bartlett at second, Hop at first, one out. Outside, 2-1, slider. Well, here's the action pitch, fans. 2 balls and a strike. The count's on his jersey there. He wants to throw a strike, and Ludwig ready to swing if he likes it. Runners lead away. Strike, a slider.
Yeah, that was a hanger at that. Fastball count. Marquis pulls the string. Hanging slider.
Boy, that was right in Ludwig's wheelhouse.
That was right down the dish.
Jim Riggleman, former Padres skipper, looks on. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-0. Nationals lead it. The Padres' best chance of the night with 1 out, bases full.
Slider.
Line drive, foul. Foul ball. Had it been fair, I think Cord, the third baseman, playing deep and guarding the line, would have snared it.
Out in front of that slider just a little bit too much. And just out of the reach. Yeah, that was about 1.5 feet or so out of the reach of Cora.
Count leveled at 2-2. Tense part of this game. Bases loaded. 2-2 pitch in the dirt. Good block. Yes, it was. That saved a run.
Absolutely.
Well, look where we are now. 3-2. Bases loaded. That's brought this crowd to life on a Friday night at Petco.
People are booing because he wants a new ball. Homemade sign, love it. Atta girl.
Bases loaded. Denorfia, Bartlett, Hop ready to roll. 3-2 on Ludwig. Ground ball, foul. Oh, he's hit a couple hard, but just foul. Straighten one of those out and put it in one of the alleys.
Not waiting back long enough to keep that slider fair, but if he waits back just a little bit more, it's probably a line drive to Alex Cora. He needs to get one, let it travel just a little bit more and elevate it and see what happens there. But Marquis has gone to the slider 2 times in a row now with the count full.
Ludwig with a double his last time up. Ball 4. The Padres get a run. It's 2-1. How good was that at-bat for Ryan Ludwig? Orpheus scores.
A great battle, and Ryan Ludwig wins the war. Carl's Jr. pitch track. Now Marquis' back is up against the wall. He's trying to throw the perfect pitch. Down, down, down. There's the one mistake that Ludwig really could have made it hurt. And then he's got the eye on the slider, but 2 times pulled foul. That's the big key right there. Marquis not getting that call. He was getting that call earlier in the ball game.
So 2-1. Base is still loaded. 1 out. And young Rizzo at the plate. Ball 1. Rizzo has been on board both times, a walk and hit by a pitch. Some of the Rizzo family, the 24 family and friends here to root him on as he makes his big league debut. You saw his tremendous numbers with runners in scoring position at Tucson. He likes to hit with ducks on the pond. Bartlett at third, Hop at second, Ludwig at first. 1 out. Ball 2. Oh, for a young guy here in the big league second game, he really has a great idea of the strike zone and discipline. He's not going to chase.
Not even flinching after that ball. Seeing it well out of the hand of Marquis and just working the count in his favor.
Yeah, 2-0.
I just want to, if there's a ball near the plate here, I want to see him come out of his shoes here. That's fine. That's all right. Count's still in his favor.
Fastball at the knees. And here we are again. Bases loaded, 1 out. And the action pitch 2-1 coming up. And that's the score, 2-1. Misses the slider. Got his money's worth.
Marquis keeping the ball down. A little wrinkle in one.
That was out of the strike zone. Three and 2. Oh my. Well, Marquis and Ludwig in the duel, and Ludwig finally won it. Worked the count to 3 and 2, and a walk to drive in a run. Bases loaded, 1 out, and now it's Anthony Rizzo. Bases loaded, 3 and 2 the count. Struck him out. So the veteran Marquis wins that battle. 2 gone. That's his 5th strikeout and the biggest of the night.
That's some pitching there by Marquis. He got him with the changeup. Slider down and in, and a changeup. Fastball count, he pulls the string. That's a pitcher's pitch there. And the perfect location.
Yeah, those 2 pitches, 2-1 and 3-2, were both down out of the strike zone. And Rizzo couldn't lay off.
That's okay, Mom. Maybe next time.
Jorge Cantu then. It's up to him. Base is still loaded, but 2 out. And that's a strike. Cantu was grounded into a double play and fly to left. Tying run Bartlett at third. Hop the go-ahead score at second. Ludwig at first. Ground ball to third. Long throw across by Cora. Plenty of time. And that's it for the Padres. Golden opportunity, but they manage only 1 run on 2 hits and leave the bases loaded. It's 2-1 after 6. Washington. Subway. Come on in for Subway's Orchard Chicken Salad Sandwich. That features tender chicken, apples, and cranberries, and all that flavor comes to you with less than 8 grams of fat. Get it before it's gone. Subway, eat fresh. So the totals after 6 innings tonight as Ernesto Frieri loosens up as he comes in to relieve Matt Latos. The Nationals 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors have left 2. The Padres 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, and have stranded 5. And had the bases loaded with 1 out and a run in, but couldn't bring in the tying run as Marquis got Rizzo to strike out and Cantu to bounce out. Latos, again his total 6 innings, 2 runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. The next single in the 2nd inning and the home run by Morse, the only trouble spot in his 6 innings of work tonight, but it's enough to give the Nationals a 2-1 lead early, and they've hung on. And here's Morse. He was up there when the pickoff of Jason Worth ended the last inning. Johnson picking him off first base. So it'll be Morse, Espinosa, and Ramos here in the Nationals 7th. Jumps in front, 2 strikes for Frieri. Ernesto pitched last night, the 8th inning, and struck out Morse and Nix, and then Espinosa flirted with a home run stolen by Will Venable. That one slicing into the alley, and Denorfia over to get it.
We talk about location quite a bit, and when a guy misses with location, whether it's the fastball or slider, you see Rob Johnson. Look at that. He wants it up around the hat. And where does he throw it? Oh. It looks like it got in on him just a little bit. So Big Earn got away with one there.
.233 batting average against Frieri. Espinosa struck out, popped to short. Out in front. Curveball from Frieri. 1-1. Another one.
Good breaking ball.
Frieri's goatee growing longer through the season. Out of play. Coming up, San Diego Hyundai Dealers 7th inning stretch. Get more MPG, more value, and double the warranty. Shop online, San Diego Hyundai Dealers.com. One and two. Struck him out. 94 on that fastball.
Yeah, good fuzz. Fuzzy Frieri going right after him.
You're into that nickname mode, huh?
Yeah. Well, the left-hander, Bud Black, loves that term. You know, when he describes a pitcher, good fuzz. You know, 94. And Espinosa behind on that fuzzy fastball.
Wilson Ramos has walked and grounded to third baseman Jorge Cantu. Curveball doesn't. 23,211 on this Friday night, Margarita night. As that great philosopher Mark Andrew Grant said, take life with a grain of salt. A slice of lemon and a shot of tequila doesn't hurt.
Nicely done. I like that.
Swung out and missed. 1-2.
When did you hear me say that?
Yeah, it's one of the many things. You have so many pearls. You know, the wisdom flows. It just flows, and you forget how brilliant you are.
Nothing like a good margarita. As Jimmy Buffett said, wasted away again in Margaritaville.
1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Got him. That's a big inning by Frieri. Gets Morse to fly out and strikes out Espinosa and Ramos impressively. 1-2-3 inning. Stretch half of the 7th at Petco. 2-1 to the visitors. Auto loan rates as low as 2.98% for 72 months. Call them at 877-495-1600. Tyler Clippard is the new pitcher here in the bottom of the 7th inning. As Jason Marquis goes 6 solid innings, gives up the 1 run on the bases loaded walk. Only 3 hits. He walked a couple and hit 1. And make that he walked 3 and hit 1 and struck out 5. Clippard, those numbers are the best on this Washington staff. Opponent's batting average 175, ERA 202. He's worked 35 innings, allowing only 21 hits, so he's been their best.
And he's a strikeout guy out of that bullpen. 43 strikeouts in those 35 plus innings. He leads the Nationals with 14 holds, and he's trying to hold them here with a 2-1 lead.
Change in center field. Rick Ankiel for Bernardina in the double switch. And Bernardina went to left, and it's Nix that's out of the game. Logan Forsythe, Rob Johnson, and the pitcher spot for the Padres here in the last of the 7th. Forsythe and Johnson both 0 for 2. That ball hit well to left field. Back goes Bernardina and makes the catch. Oh, it just didn't carry at all. Thought he got that one. Long out to left. Forsythe.
Let's see if we get some top spin on this. Maybe just out in front just a little bit. And that's all it takes. Just a little bit too quick to the baseball off the end of the bat.
Maybe some top spin. Yeah, brought it down. Yeah. Well, here's Johnson, struck out, and a soft liner to the second baseman. Looked like it might squeak through into center field with a couple of men on back in the 5th inning, but wasn't hit hard enough, and Espinosa was able to scamper out on the grass behind second and make a backhanded catch. Strike 1. Put Ankiel in the 9th spot of the batting order. He'll hit in the next inning. He'll be up second. Weak wave. Changeup.
Nice changeup from Clippard. Fastball change, slider, curve. His changeup that we've just seen back to back there is his second pitch, and you can peek inside the glove. There's the circle change, and that front elbow coming at you, the high elbow, and then that ball gets right on top of you. Trying to throw a little deception in his delivery. And what in the Ryan Dern is going on with those goggles? Not as thick as Ryan's, but still, he's got the goggles working.
It's a look. Every reliever has to have something,
That's
whether
right.
it's the beard or the goatee, goggles, or the mannerisms around the mound that give you the feeling that the man's, half wacko.
Yeah. Hey, that helps.
It does.
You get that in the hitter's mind, you betcha.
3-2. Struck him out. Second time that Johnson has struck out tonight. And our Skycam shot brought to you by Mossy Ford and Mossy Toyota. Visit us in Pacific Beach or online at mossy.com. Chase Headley will pinch hit for Frieri. Padres just unable to get anything going. The last four hitters in the lineup. They're a collective 0 for 11 tonight. Ball one to Headley. Chase last night with his second home run into the left field stands. Also had a line single, 2 for 4. Change up, and it's 2-0. DeNorfia in the on deck circle would be next. Popped him up. Clippard is calling, and finally called off by the first baseman Morse. And that's it for the Padres as Clippard works a 1-2-3 7th inning. After 7, 2-1 Washington. Here at Petco Park, Padre Suites. Great way to enjoy a game with your friends, family, or co-workers. Suites can be customized That way they fit your specific group needs, include multiple seating options, food, beverage, the whole package. Visit Padres.com/suites for all the details. Corey Lupke out of the bullpen for the Padres to face Cora and Keel and Bernardina here in the Washington 8th inning. Cora's fly to center and walked. And he tries to run his way on almost every game. One and one.
So with Ankiel hitting in the number 9 spot in the double switch, 2 lefties to lead it off here. And then Bernardina at the top of the order, so 3 lefties. Good test for Lupke.
He pitched on Wednesday in the final game with Colorado. His last outing went 1 inning, allowed no runs, 1 hit. 2-2.
Lefties are hitting only 195 off the rookie left-hander.
Good inning of work from Frieri. No hits, struck out a couple. 1-2-3 inning. Chopped out in front of the plate. Rob Johnson throws him out. So Van Keel bats for the first time tonight. Rick started last night in center field. He's hitting just .208 on the season. 1 home run, 9 runs batted in. Kind of hope that in this series, and it still could happen, we'll see our old friend Matt Stairs, who's down on that Washington bench, hasn't homered for the Nats. The all-time major league leader in pinch hit home runs. That's a strike. Fastball, 93. Look, he's picked up velocity as this season's gone on.
I think he's getting accustomed to his role out there and doing things in between appearances to keep that arm strong. And he has no problem at all pounding the strike zone. Not afraid to challenge hitters with that fastball. There you go.
Another one at 93.
Frank Tanana look-alike. I'm sticking with it. And you can vouch for me, Professor, because you did those games.
Yeah, a little bit. Breaking ball just missed. 2-2.
He's got the thick eyebrows, right? Wearing the cap kind of low. He's got the, looks like he got a haircut recently, but Frank had those kind of long hair flowing out of the back of that cap.
He's a little taller, a little bigger than Frank. Struck him out. First punch out for Frieri to the top of the order, and Roger Bernardina.
Good fastball, just challenged him.
Lupke. 9 strikeouts now, part of the pitching tonight. He has 1 of them. 9 Nationals have gone down swinging. Bernardina has struck out and grounded out twice. 1-1. Still no word on Dustin Mosley after the dislocation of the left shoulder on Wednesday. Foul back. Still sore. Going to wait to see whether or not he's going to be able to take his turn in the rotation. If not, the word is that Wade LeBlanc would come up and pitch. See, that would be the Monday game in Colorado. 1-2. Fly ball left field. Ludwig giving ground. And the inning's over. Lupke follows Frieri with a perfect 1-2-3 inning. It'll be the top of the order. Denorfia, Bartlett, and Hopp for the Padres in the 8th. San Diego Toyota dealers, we've got what it takes. Well, the Nationals, two different personalities. The pitchers at home, a 2.81 ERA. Outstanding. On the road, more generous 4.39, but they brought their home pitching to Petco tonight, allowing only 1 run and 3 hits through 7. Denorfia scored the Padres' only run after his double with 1 out in the 6th inning, put him aboard, and eventually came in on the bases loaded walk to Ludwig. He's hit the ball hard twice. That double and a smash to third, but right at Cora. 307, the best of the Padre batting averages. Clippard low, 2-0. Changeup. Clippard was drafted by the Yankees 8 years ago out of Florida high school and traded, eventually making his way to Washington. 3-0. Referred to in the Washington media guide as the goggled monster. 3-0. High, a 4-pitch walk to lead off the 8th. Thank you very much, Denorfia cries. And Riggleman, the worst of situations. That'll pucker you up when your pitcher doesn't even throw a strike to the leadoff man.
Dick, you were mentioning the nickname of Tyler Clippard, and I've got to give credit where credit is due. Director Tom Satursky said he should have stayed with the Yankees because then he'd be known as the Yankee Clippard.
Oh, yes. Very good. He's got too much time down there.
I think in 15 years, that's the only good thing he's ever come up with.
Jason Bartlett. Big hold on that right side. Doesn't offer. Ball 1. Well, but Black here at home playing for the tying run. Had Bartlett up there squared away. Let's see if they take off the bunt.
A guy with great bat control. Jason Bartlett's a guy you feel confident getting that bunt down. Also, if the count goes in his favor, hey, have him swing away. Try to shoot that hole on the right side.
Not full belief by Cora at third. He's hanging right bag high. Perfectly placed. Clippard gets the put out. 1-3 on the put out, and the Padres have the tying run at second base. 1 out to Hop and Ludwig.
You just know that Bartlett's going to give you a good at bat. Got good bat control. He deadened that ball perfectly. Nicely done, Flipper. As we take a look, first base side, and Denorfia sees the trajectory of the ball off that bat. As soon as that ball hits turf, he is off and running into scoring position.
And that lob throw by Clippard almost created problems. Morris had to reach into the runner to catch the ball. So with 1 out, Hop with a chance to tie it, and Ludwig waiting his turn on deck.
So we got lefty, first base open, righty on deck. See what Clippard does first pitch for Hop. A lot of times in this situation, you'll see a pitcher throw an off-speed pitch because that runner at second base might get a little froggy trying to drive that guy in.
And that's one of his better offerings, Clippard, that changeup. We've seen it work effectively in the last inning.
Looks like a changeup grip in the glove.
Fouled away. It was. You would think, because he does show that grip, that Denorfia looking right in, peeking right over his shoulder, could almost see his grip. Not that he can relay it. And
right.
A lot of hitters don't want to know what pitch is coming.
Sure.
Same grip?
Yep, looks like a changeup grip. No, fastball grip. Fastball. Yep.
Threw it right by Hop. 92. So the Nationals' best in the bullpen is out there trying to hold on to this 2-1 lead. Denorfia, walk and a sacrifice, the tying run, second base.
Four-seam fastball.
Struck him out very late on that swing. So Hop, who has struck out more than any Padre, 62 times, goes down again.
He just challenged him. And believe me, the hitters have that changeup in the back of their mind, right? And look at how far behind Brad Hop is on that heater. He just might as well have that changeup in the back of his mind. Could not catch up to that fastball.
Ludwig, 1 for 2, a double, and his walk with the bases loaded forced in the only Padre run in the 6th inning. Leading RBI man with a chance to pick up a very important run and tie this game. On the outside corner, 91 on the fastball. Ludwig with 37 RBIs. By far and away tops on the club. Right man in the right spot for San Diego here in the 8th inning. Fouls it back.
One of the few breaking balls we've seen. A slider.
Ludwig, a little thought walk. What am I going to get here? Will I get one of those change-ups, or will he try to throw a fastball by me?
I'm guessing he's going to waste a fastball maybe here.
Outside target. On the outside corner. That wasn't wasted at all. That was a perfect pitch.
Wow.
So with a tying run at second, Clippard mows down Hop and Ludwig on strikes. And we go to the 9th, still 2-1. Casino post-game show. It'll be Bob Scanlon and Jenny Kavnar, Channel 4 Studios, Sequan Casino. That's a place to get away for the day. Sequan Casino. Pat Neshek, 4th pitcher used by Bud Black tonight. Frieri and Lupke working perfect 7th and 8th innings. And now Neshek in the 9th. It'll be Desmond and Worth, then the pitcher's spot for Washington. And a right-hander throwing in the bullpen for the Nationals. So 2 solid innings from Clippard. Big swing. Desmond has a single and 3 at-bats tonight. Neshek pitched the 9th inning last night. Gave up a hit and a home run to Wilson Ramos. Good position there. Jam Desmond. And Matt Stairs apparently will hit in the pitcher's spot. He's down in the hole. And Storen, that's Drew Storen. One hopper right through the wickets of first baseman Rizzo. Here comes the throw by Hop to second and won't be in time. A smash by Desmond right at the first baseman Rizzo. He couldn't get a glove on it. Let's see how they scored.
Fastball away. He goes with it nicely.
That's got to be fielded.
Yeah, I think it's got to be an error.
And it is.
Yep.
You know, he has his first major league error. He's not the only one on the team. A two-base error, however, that gives the Nationals a chance to fortify their 2-1 lead here in the ninth. With the big guns coming up, Worth, Nick, the Stairs, and then Michael Morse. Strike. Worth, fly to center, struck out, and a swinging bunt single to third. One and one. But Stairs has been back in the clubhouse taking a peek at that National Hockey League game 5 in Vancouver. He's such a hockey nut. Of course, plays and coaches it in the offseason. Popped up, and that'll make it back into the crowd.
You know, at times I've noticed Jason Worth, sometimes he will field for the baseball. He really doesn't wait back and attack the ball. Like on a slider or an off-speed curveball, he'll kind of wave at it. Let's check out this pitch. That's a ball down and in. He's trying to, but his body weight's kind of out towards the pitcher's mound, out front. Just really, I don't think Jason Worth type of swing that even he wants.
Jammed again. 1 and 2. Desmond at second base with excellent speed. In fact, he has 18 steals this year. And Neshek shaking off Johnson. Not quite in sync here. 1 and 2. Two and 2. Wasn't that close, but peeling out of the box was Worth to sell the point. Popped up. Forsythe in shallow right field. One away. Desmond holding at second, and here's Matt Stairs. Popular guy in the clubhouse of the Padres all the last year. Been 22 years since Stairs was signed as a free agent to a contract by Montreal, so he has made the full major league cycle, right back with the same franchise, just a different city. The all-time leader with 23 pinch hit home runs. He had 4 with the Padres last year and a couple more when he started. He'd get a start once a week, maybe play left field.
Yep.
High in the air. He just missed that one. Sky high. Center fielder Denorfia. 2 out. And our hit of the game is brought to you by El Cajon Ford. Worth the short drive from anywhere in the county. Or shop online at elcajonford.com. Michael Morse, second inning with Lance Nix aboard, sends it in the upper tier. Boy, that was a monster home run, 427 feet. And those are the 2 runs scored by the Nationals. And through 8 innings, it's held up as the Padres trail 2-1. In the bottom of the ninth, they've got Rizzo, Cantu, and Forsythe scheduled. Ball 1.
There's a big at-bat right here for Neshek against the power-hitting Morse. Hold them at 2 runs, and the Padres need a bloop and a blast. in their half of the ninth.
Meanwhile, Cincinnati, the Giants, are tied at 2 in the 7th up north. Dodgers and Arizona lost. So if the Padres could pull out a win tonight, they will escape last place. They'll move ahead of the Dodgers. Dodgers started tonight 29-35, as did San Diego.
And what do you know? Another low-scoring one-run game here at Petco Park.
2-0. 3-0. First base open. Espinosa on deck. He's 0 for 3 tonight, struck out twice. So maybe a pitch right around big Michael Morse. And you do. 4-pitch walk. So first and second with 2 out. And they take their chances on Espinosa. He's hitting only .219 coming in this 24-year-old rookie. But among his hits, 10 home runs, 4 triples, and 8 doubles. Now, when he does hit it, he does some damage. That's in there. Strike 1.
Pulled the string on him. Nice changeup for a strike.
Jumps in front, 2 strikes. Neshek trying to pitch around. The leadoff 2-base error by Rizzo. Wasted outside. There's some times when Neshek on the follow-through is almost like a skater that's losing his balance.
Yeah.
Wheeling off the mound. 1-2 to Espinosa. High fly ball hit well to center, but Denorfia able to go back and collect it for the out. Well hit for the final out. Neshek, good job pitching out of potential trouble. No runs, no hits, an error, and 2 men left. Padres last call. Rizzo, Cantu, Forsythe coming up.
This season, subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Padres game live or on demand on your computer or on your favorite devices. Visit Padres.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere.
In comes Drew Storen to save the game for the Nationals. 2-1. He's a youngster, 23, from Brownsburg, Indiana. Came up as a rookie last year and gave Washington a solid effort in 54 games. Was 4-4. This year 4-2, 190 batting average against. He's 23 and Rizzo 21. Ball one. Rizzo walked, hit by a pitch, and struck out with the bases loaded. Has allowed just runs in 4 of his last 8 appearances. So that's belies the good numbers that we saw, that he has been in a bit of trouble out of the pen the last 8 times on the mound.
Well, he has 4 pitches, but basically a 2-pitch pitcher in the closer's role. Fastball and slider, mid-90s on that fastball. Occasionally he will throw a curveball and a change.
Rizzo, count in his favor. Going away. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Licking his chops up there, the youngster. Once he gets a chance to put a big swing on one. Tie it up.
Probably taken here.
Yeah. And it's ball 4. Well, he's shown a good eye, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
That's the 4th time he's walked, and he's also been hit by a pitch. So he's been on base, and he represents the tying run. That brings the potential winning run to the plate. Jorge Cantu. Well, the last inning, Clippard walked the leadoff man to Northia. Padres sacrificed him, but both Hopp and Ludwig struck out. You would figure that Bud Black is contemplating whether you ask Cantu to bunt here.
Yeah, I think you have to. Get him over.
No, he's swinging.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my.
Oh, he called that a strike?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Boy, he's been inconsistent.
Wow.
That's way inside.
That's not even close.
You wonder sometimes. So now Cantu's got in a position where what is a strike? And it could be a double play. There's one. And for the second time tonight, Jorge Cantu wraps into a double play. Boy, the bottom end of the order tonight has lacked any production at all. In fact, from Cantu, Forsythe, Johnson in the pitcher's spot. 0 for 13, and Cantu really a couple of double play balls, 0 for 15.
You know, the way I look at that last that bat by Cantu, I think you have to look beyond his spot in the order when you've got like Forsythe coming up. You got Johnson coming up. Maybe Buddy's thinking was, hey, here's a veteran guy. Hey, try to put a charge in one, maybe an extra base hit, rather than trying to bunt him over. And you know what? Quite frankly, I could see that. When you look at the way the order is lined up and what you have on the bench, I think Buddy was taking a chance. So Jorge was going to run into one maybe, or maybe even an extra base hit.
So Kyle Phillips will bat for Forsythe. Had they bunted along, perhaps Forsythe would have hit, but now with 2 outs in the 9th inning, you got to go to a man that has some power. Ground ball into right field. So a sacrifice, it's second guessing, but we were first guessing that the sacrifice might have been in order. That might have tied the game. So Kyle Phillips, he's going to make it tough for them to send him down. He's just done too many good things with the bat. And that'll bring up Nick Hundley. And a pinch runner also for Phillips. Clayton Richard will be the pinch runner. Well, Nick activated just a couple of games ago. Last night was 0 for 3 with a walk. And in his first game back was 1 for 4 on Wednesday afternoon. That's in there, a slider. Only the second pinch hit opportunity for Hundley. He's 0 for 2. 3 home runs, a dozen runs batted in for Hundley. And he falls behind 2 strikes. 96 on the fastball. So Storen works the pinch hitter Hundley into the hole. Very safe lead by Clayton Richard. He's only a step off the back at first base. And leaning back toward first. Outside, 1-2. Set up a slider. That was a good one because it was just off the plate, enough to tempt when you got 2 strikes on you. Tempt the swing.
Yeah, you'd rather miss that side of the plate rather than catch too much of the plate and have Nick Hundley serving in the right center field. And speaking of the outfield, nothing over their heads, no doubles. Everybody's playing way deep. Bernadine in left, way back there, and Keel. Deep center field. Nothing over their heads. The only thing over their heads is going to be a home run.
Not a bad thought.
Yeah, I like it.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Hundley. Storen trying to close the door on a 2-1 Washington win. Strike 3 called. Hundley didn't get a swing in that at bat. Might as well come up there empty-handed. Can't believe he was struck out, but that was the strike zone of Wally Bell all night long. Let's just see if that was a good strike. Maybe Bell got this right. Man, might have touched the corner. Good enough to take a crack at. So the Padres, no runs a hit, a man left in the 9th inning, and another 1-run game, and it's the Nationals who prevail 2-1. They do it all on just 1 swing. Michael Morse's 2-run home run way back in the 2nd inning. We'll be back. Final totals from Petco Park tonight, right after this.